What's going on, guys? I'm Brett Garamello with BrettGaramello.com, and today I'm going to talk about why the iPad is still the best device to use while flying your DJI drone. So let's get right into it. Alright, so when I woke up, it was really sunny out, and I thought it'd be a great day to shoot, and then of course the clouds came over. That's the way it goes in this channel. When it's time to make a video, we make a video. That's why I like to keep pumping out a lot of videos. Rain or clouds, we make it happen. So if you like clouds, give it a thumbs down. If you like the sun, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. I come out with regular videos every week to help you become a better drone pilot. So a lot of people talk about having a really bright screen or like a smart controller for the Mavic 2 or using a shade when they fly, especially on a sunny day, like it has been at moments during today at the beach. I don't need a really super bright screen. I don't even need a hood to go around my monitor. Instead, I'll show you a few tips that I use during my entire professional career as a drone pilot. I have my Part 107 license. I do commercial shoots. And honestly, I've never used a shade and I've never had a super bright device other than my iPad. So I'm gonna show you how I do it. Maybe this will be helpful. Obviously, in certain circumstances, you might need a shade, you might need a bigger monitor, etc. But for me, I've always used this and it's gotten the job done. So one of my fans, Luis Pablo, commented and told me to come to Haulover Beach. So I went here today and it was a bit of a shock because it was a nude beach. And even though it was a nude beach, I think it was a nude beach for senior citizens. So mainly guys over 70 years old. So I'm a little bit scarred, but we're gonna keep it moving. But we're gonna get into what I do. So when I go to the beach and it's super sunny out, what I like to do is to find a spot almost like this around me. So I can either walk down a little path near a beach. So when you're at the beach, there's these little places near the beach where you can find these little like inlets and paths where you can go down, and there's usually a tree or some type of shrub where you can find some shade. You don't need a lot of shade to fly. All you need is a little bit to cover the screen. So what I do is I watch my drone while it goes up in the air, and then once it's at a safe altitude where it's not going to hit anything, where it's over any obstacles, buildings, trees, etc., then I just look at my monitor. I make sure that my monitor is pointing towards the shrubs or pointing towards the tree, so it's in complete shade. And once you have your monitor in complete shade, you can just fly normal. And you could have a spotter or someone else watching the drone if you can't see it. Usually the shrubs aren't so encompassing, or a tree isn't so encompassing that it blocks your entire view. So I could just take a look, I could see my drone in the air if I need to, and then mainly I just look at my monitor and I fly like that. And when I fly commercial jobs, what I do is I just look at my monitor, make sure I get the shot perfect, and I have my people that I'm with, an assistant and so forth, look at the drone. So I'm just concentrating on nailing the shot. If there's no trees around, usually there's a building somewhere or some type of structure that you could get behind. So what I do is I get behind that. So here we have the little lifeguard houses that I go behind. So what I do is get behind the shaded part of that structure, and the same thing as the plants or the tree, I just point my iPad towards the structure, towards the shaded part, and I'm able to see my monitor perfectly fine. Don't need to even have that bright of a screen, and I can fly perfectly, nail the shot every time. Now I fly pretty regularly for the past 2 years, and I've never had an issue. This method has always worked for me. Granted, take it with a grain of salt. I understand if you're doing a super high-end commercial, you're using a Red with a M600, or you're using an Inspire 2, and you have a whole crew with you, a separate monitor, that's a different story. But for most shoots and most people, you're just gonna use an iPad. I like it because it's about 9.5 inches around there, so it's much bigger than the Smart Controller or the Crystal Sky, and of course a lot bigger than your phone. So it gives you a nice screen real estate to be able to really nail the shot, and this is my recommendation. One last thing I'd like to mention is that you can use third-party apps like Pix4D or Drone Deploy. Any of these apps are using for 3D mapping, inspections, agricultural use, you can use with your iPad. So that's a huge advantage of having the iPad. I know the Smart Controller for the Mavic 2, you can do that as well, but it's not as big, and it's also relatively low price. Some people say they don't like Apple products, but I've never had an issue. I've also get tremendous transmission and distance when using my iPad. One little pro tip before I go, you can just turn off your Bluetooth. When you turn off your Bluetooth, you'll be able to fly a lot farther or get less interference from different frequencies. So that's one little tip that I use as well. All right guys, that's it for today's Real Raw vlog. I will put links to this little piece that I use for my iPad, as well as this little holder which is made of metal. I find it's very easy to fly. I just fly like this with my hands here, an iPad right above it. Super easy to fly. I'll put links to those in the description below. And now we're gonna do the fan of the day. So the fan of the day is Bean. Bean, you're the man. Thank you for all your comments and support. I do appreciate it. You always tell me to be safe, which is probably a good idea because I've had 3 near-death experiences. So appreciate it. All right, guys, if you found this video helpful, if you like the sun, press that like button. If you like the clouds, you didn't like this video, press the thumbs down. No, I'm just kidding. Press that thumbs up button. And if you want to get more videos like this, I do release videos, like I said before, on a regular basis to help you become a better drone pilot. Please subscribe to my channel. And before I go, remember, siempre pa'lante, nunca para atrás.